You want to walk on? Pay your own way? We certainly won't stop you. There ain't no way you're ever going to play. Not here.
He just might make it. Make it. I just hope he lives. Why are you wasting your time working with that kid?
Well, he wants it more than him. If I can teach my son how to walk, I can teach you these steps. You just got your butt kicked by a walker. That's no walker. And Lord knows that you've worked harder than anybody else, on and off the field.
You are living proof that when you do the right things, good stuff happens. And you have done everything right.
Of all people, how's that make any sense?
His life meant something. It had to. I've never met a better man than your brother.
He believed that if he worked hard and did everything he was supposed to, God would make everything turn out for the best. Didn't everything turn out for the best, Marty?
Have faith, Marty. This is my road.
How bad do you want it? Real bad! How bad? Real bad! How bad? Real bad! Burlsworth got him!
Brandon Burlsworth has become the greatest walk-on story in the history of college football.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2021 Burlsworth Trophy presentation. This year, a record number of athletes from schools all across the country were nominated for this prestigious award. The Burlsworth Trophy stands for all that is good in college football. It's for those that believe in themselves and wouldn't take no for an answer. The voting process of the selection committee narrowed the nominees down to 10 semifinalists. And now, there are 3. Let's meet the 2021 Burlsworth Trophy finalists. A student of the game with great on-field instincts, he was named one of the top 3 returning linebackers in 2021 by Pro Football Focus. This season, he ranks 4th nationally with 121 tackles, and over the last 3 seasons, he has more tackles than anyone else in the country. From Troy University, senior linebacker Carlton Marshall. In 2020, he was named first-team All-SEC, and going into this season, a preseason All-American. He's one of the leading defenders in the Southeastern Conference in a program that has made tremendous strides the last 2 years. From the University of Arkansas, senior linebacker Grant Morgan. The stage wasn't too large when he stepped into the starter's role 5 games into the season. He's having a career year and has helped Georgia to a 12-1 record and a spot in the college football playoffs. Racking up passing yards and touchdowns, they call him the mailman because he delivers. From the University of Georgia, senior quarterback Stetson Bennett. Now, please welcome your host, John Williams.
Thank you. And thank you all for being with us tonight. What an incredible night here. Can we get a round of applause for Crystal Bridges? Have you guys? Are you serious? Wow. It's a pleasure to feature the Burlsworth Trophy presentation at this world-renowned venue. It's just gorgeous. We want to welcome not only our finalists, the 3 gentlemen here, of course, but also their families as well. We got to meet them a little bit earlier before the presentation from Troy University, the University of Arkansas, and the University of Georgia. An event like this would not be possible without the support of our sponsors. We want to say thank you for being a part of this event year after year. The mission of the Brandon Burlsworth Foundation is to support the physical and spiritual needs of the less fortunate children. Your sponsorship tonight and year-round is what makes the work of the foundation possible. When you arrived here tonight, you were hearing a music mix from a true professional, and we're going to continue to hear from him all night long. I can talk about him all night long because he's a good friend of mine. He's the official DJ of the SEC and of the Atlanta Braves. Give it up for DJ Derek. Give it up, my man. Now, in 2019, ESPN traveled to the Burlsworth's hometown of Harrison to do a feature on Brandon and the Burlsworth Trophy, which is this amazing-looking trophy right here. The College Game Day piece aired on the opening weekend of the 2019 college football season, and by the next day, it had 2 million views on YouTube in a day. It's a very powerful, moving piece, and it's part of our program tonight.
All of us feel that way about those moments where the walk-ons are given scholarships, but it's not always a situation where it's just an attaboy for somebody who works really hard. Sometimes you get the Hollywood ending. The walk-on ends up becoming the star. And so it was for a player at Arkansas from no scholarship to having his number 77 retired. Even more, Tom Rinaldi tells us, a quarter century later, Brandon Burlsworth connects to everyone who's ever been told, you're not good enough.
Well, man, I want to be the first person to tell you that you're on scholarship.
Surprise presentations.
In front of his parents, grandfather, you're on scholarship.
Keen celebrations.
You're on scholarship.
Roaring ovations. Those stirring moments and rousing stories of a walk-on going on scholarship.
You're on full scholarship. Yeah!
But there's one story every walk-on should really know.
It's the story of the underdog. Because everybody in some aspect of their life thinks that they're the walk-on.
Growing up in Arkansas, Brandon Burlsworth's desire to play football was clear. His talent wasn't.
Wasn't a whole lot of athletic ability. Not a great athlete.
He was slow. He was soft. We didn't think he'd ever play.
As a heavy, slow lineman at Harrison High School, Burlsworth barely played as a sophomore. He didn't start till he was a junior. As a senior, even after working himself into an all-state player, college programs weren't overly interested.
How many offers did he have?
He had 2. Division II at the time, both.
He says, I want to be a Razorback, and I'm going to be a Razorback. He said, if I have to walk on, that's what I want to do.
He arrived in Fayetteville in 1994, a 6'3" walk-on, and the wrong kind of big.
It was just fat. Okay, there was no muscle.
He went to the weight room. He was red-shirted. Made him lose down to about 260. After that, he just took off.
There you go.
After adding more than 50 pounds of muscle, working his way up the depth chart to earn playing time. Before his sophomore season, Burlsworth told his family the news.
He had done everything they'd asked of him and more. They put him on scholarship.
He was better than some of the players that we had on scholarship. He was contributing. He earned it.
That's a kind of a degrading word, walk on, because it meant that he wasn't good enough. He walked on to show them that he was good enough.
With his signature glasses and heaping shoulder pads, Burlsworth's ascent began. Razorback starter as a sophomore, all SEC as a junior, and as a senior on a top 20 Arkansas team in 1998, All-American.
Did I ever think he would be the kind of football player he was at Arkansas? Not till I knew the man.
After running a 4.8840 in the combine, 5 years after he walked on at Arkansas, the NFL called his name.
Pick 63 of Indianapolis takes Brandon Burlsworth, the guard from Arkansas.
He was a first-round player in our estimation. Offensive linemen generally tend to fall through the draft. We're happy to have him.
It's been a big transition, you know. There's a lot of new parts of the new offense, you know, you got to learn. It's been a real learning process, but I think I'm catching on more as each day goes by.
11 days after the draft, Burlsworth was driving back home from Fayetteville to Harrison along Route 412 to pick up his mother and take her to church. He was late.
And I seen the policeman pull up, and Brandon wasn't home yet. I remember running out and saying, "Brandon, Brandon," and them shaking their head.
The Brandon Burlsworth story was unfolding like a fairy tale. But yesterday afternoon, Burlsworth died in an auto accident. Police say Burlsworth's Subaru crossed the center line and was hit by a semi.
Brandon Burlsworth was 20 minutes from home. He was 22 years old.
It was just seemed unfair for a guy to do everything he had done the hard way and made it to the highest level, and then you don't get to play.
Since 2010, the Burlsworth Trophy has been awarded to the nation's most outstanding college football player who started his career as a walk-on. You know the winners.
The winner of the 2018 Burlsworth Trophy, Hunter Renfro.
And they know the story of a walk-on who lives on.
Every year at the ceremony, it's just cool because I hear Brandon's story over and over again. That same determination, that same work ethic, and they won't take no for an answer. That's the Burl's way, earning it.
That's one of the greatest stories ESPN's ever done. An incredible story on such an inspirational young man as Brandon. This trophy in a night like this would not be possible without a vision. Many years ago, what this could become, it took determination and a lot of hard work to be where we are all here tonight. But I've never known him to shy away from a challenge, so please welcome to the stage the president and the CEO of the Burlsworth Trophy, Marty Burlsworth.
great evening we have here tonight, and I want to personally thank you from our family. I want to thank you for being here tonight. And this is the first year of our new show format. You've been with us in the past, over the past few years. It looked a little different. This is our and we're excited about it, and we know you're going to like it. What do you think so far? In 2018, the Burlsworth Trophy was voted into a pretty elite club, and it was very difficult to get in this club. It's the NCFAA, also known as the National College Football Awards Association, which includes other college football awards such as the Maxwell, Doak Walker, the Heisman. Arkansas's own Bulls Award is also a member of this prestigious organization. By being in this organization, our winner here tonight will also be part of Thursday nights, will be featured on Thursday nights ESPN College Football Awards broadcast. And we're very proud of that and excited about what that brings. Yes, thank you. I'm really excited for you to hear about these three amazing finalists here tonight. And the Burlsworth, but first, the Burlsworth Trophy's in its 12th year. And one thing I don't want to forget is my mother has always been at this event year after year. And due to her health this year, she's just not able to make it. I know she is watching the stream. Hi, Mom. But I thought we might do something. Are we able to get the house lights up? Because if you would indulge me, could we do a little video for Mom and everybody say hi? Would that be okay? Everybody good with that? Sorry, guys, get them off here, but we'll try to stay on task after this.
I can get you in that if you want that.
Okay, that's good. Let's do that. Let's do that.
I get you in that.
All right, let's start right here, and then we'll paint.
Okay.
All right, John, let's do a little coaching here. You don't video like
come
that,
on.
man. You video.
All right, you ready? I'm radio. I'm not video, man. Are you ready?
Okay, let's do, okay, hang on. Cut. Maybe we'll say, hi, Miss Barbara. How's that? Okay, I'll say, hey, Mom, we got some folks who want to say hi to you, and John can pay them to say, hi, Miss Barbara. Okay, all right. Come back here. Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Mom, we've got some folks here that would like to say hi to you. I know you want to be here tonight, but they'd like to say hi. All right. Great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. I had to get you in there, man. I had to get you in there.
We've got an incredible location here, as you can see. Very unique location, beautiful location. And the walk-on athlete is unique as well. Tonight, you'll hear stories of Stetson Bennett, Carlton Marshall, and Grant Morgan that will remind you. Dude, that's going to happen sometime. That will remind you a lot of Brandon. You know, the same toughness, dedication, but also a kindness and a love for others. Brandon's 22 years left a wonderful legacy. The Burlsworth Trophy and the Brandon Burlsworth Foundation were proud to carry that on. These young men have risen to extraordinary heights in their college careers, and tonight you will see that they are extraordinary people as well. So sit back and get ready to be inspired. Colton, Stetson, and Grant, this night is yours. Thank you.
I'm trying to do a better job on the video. My days as a director are over. Over, I tell you. Well, last year we featured a new segment in our program that gave a different perspective on the life of a walk-on athlete. What was it like in the beginning of the college career, from the time you were a walk-on, a viewpoint of the families? Not only that, but what were these big guys like when they weren't such big guys, when they were little guys? Well, KNWA's Terrence Halmage spent some time with the parents of our three finalists, and they had some great stories to share.
Carlton, at 5 years old, was able to throw the ball 20 yards. down the field as a 5-year-old.
Ever since he was really little, he wanted to play any sport that was available during whatever season.
No, believe it or not, he was actually Player of the Year in the state of Georgia for baseball his senior year. But he just something about Friday Night Lights.
And it's funny, you know, I think about Thanksgiving and families having little like backyard football games, stuff like that. Was that something that happened in your household?
That was, if it's only on Thanksgiving, that's an understatement. It was every single day. That was the thing that they did, you know, come home. He was out there in the yard with his bigger brother and bigger cousins. And unfortunately, I was playing quarterback for both teams, you know, but yeah, they were active every single day. They was always doing something.
Grant wanted to play football on the same team as Drew, and he was too young, but I let him put pads on and show up to practice every day with the team, and I was one of the coaches, and Drew had the ball, and he just ran him completely over, and I could see it in his face, and he came walking over, and he was kind of pouting, and I was like, what's wrong? He said, I want to go back in there. And I was like, well, you better get back in there, and you better hit him hard, and don't let him run you over. And, you know, and he just had this attitude of, I just got knocked down, but I am going, and I am going to win this battle.
And was it always the University of Georgia? Was he just dead set on playing there?
A lot of people don't believe this story, but when we're 3 years old, my daddy played quarterback at University of South Carolina, and so at age 3, we start working on how to throw the football, how to separate your hands, how to, you know, the delivery and the mechanics. And I said, what do you want to do with this? He said, I want to play quarterback at the University of Georgia. Just watch his dreams. I mean, who gets a legitimate chance to live out their childhood dreams? There's just not many of us.
For him to be a finalist for this award, what does that mean to you both as parents?
Wow.
Well, it's an honor first. The actual award, you know, it's an honor. We're humbled, you know, for him to even, you know, be nominated.
The story, the legacy, you know, for his name to even be mentioned along the same, you know, it's just like, wow, okay. It's bigger than football. You know, it's bigger than sports. You know, this is life.
Everyone that's recognized as a finalist is awesome, and they've accomplished some incredible things. Selfishly, we think Grant is the best, as we did last year. But, you know, we're just thankful that, you know, I think whoever votes recognize his hard work and all that it's taken to get to this point.
You just think all the things that Brandon was and represents, Grant, I mean, he strives to be that same type of individual. So you feel like it's so fitting. And, you know, even if he doesn't win it, like he said, we are so proud of the things he's accomplished and done and who he's become through this journey.
He's definitely an example of what a true walk-on striving to be, just like the other two finalists. I'm very proud that he's another finalist this year, and just that we're back in the same boat, because just the whole Burlsworth story and legacy is just an amazing part to be just one of the top 3 again.
Just neat. It's neat to have a front row seat. Have a front row seat to watch somebody's dreams come to fruition. It's pretty stinking cool. I'm very, very thankful. I'm just so proud of the man he has become. You know, he is who I would go to first for advice. And that's pretty cool when it's your child.
The walk-on route is not an easy road to travel. This past Saturday, I saw Coach Monken, who's the offense coordinator for Georgia, and a great offensive mind. And he said, I want to tell you something about this kid. He said, for 18 months, we told him every day he wasn't good enough to do it. He said, and every day he proved us wrong. That is the story of Brandon. You know, football is just a few years in your life, and but what football teaches will be with you forever.
We all dream.
But dreams quickly become distant memories, unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Well, you know you've hit the big time when you are the answer, or it's the question, on a game show. And if you're a game show fan, you know that on Friday, that happened.
1200. The Burlsworth Trophy is awarded to college football players who began as these, typically non-recruits. Amy.
What are walk-ons?
Right.
Nice. That's power, Marty. Having that happen Friday. That's some juice. The Burlsworth Trophy is, by the way, as everyone knows, a very special award. Players work long and extra hard to get the opportunity to contribute to their team. Did you know the Brandon Burlsworth Foundation also has another award at the high school level? The Burlsworth Trophy is based on performance on the field. This award is not, but as you will see, it is just as meaningful.
There are over 16,000 high school football programs in this country, and football is important. It teaches so much, but it's more than Friday nights and letter jackets. It's more than throwing or catching a pass or running for a touchdown. It's about something bigger. It's about being part of a team, caring about your teammate more than yourself. Now that's character. And the Burlsworth Character Award rewards high character nationwide.
The Burlsworth Award is a very important part of our program here at Flambeau School, and to us it's really the Hall of Fame of character.
And having an award like the Brandon Burlsworth Award, an award that celebrates character, an award that celebrates Christian values, is such a wonderful thing for my program.
My name is Major Josh Lawler, and I'm a former high school athlete from Rogers, Arkansas, a husband, a father, and a current active duty nurse practitioner for the U.S. Army. I was honored to receive the Brandon Burlsworth Character Award in 2005 while playing high school football.
This award isn't about being a great player. It's about being a great teammate and a great person.
We don't give individual awards in our program as far as best player or MVPs or those types of things. This is the only one that we select, and it's simply because it exemplifies exactly what we want all of our boys to be about.
It's such a great award to show that these young men are going to be future pillars of their community, great fathers, great sons, great brothers, and great husbands.
We need to celebrate things like character, like Christian values in our world, in our society today. They are so undervalued.
Even today, it serves as a testament to the type of gentleman and leader that I aim to be.
As one coach said it best, I'm almost positive Brandon would be very proud of all of you and all of those that have received this award.
Football careers fade, but your character lives on.
Now, the Burlsworth Trophy is blessed to have a very distinguished selection committee who take the responsibility very, very seriously. Year after year, these men devote themselves to making sure every nominee has an equal shot at winning this award. Beginning your college career as a walk-on is a very challenging thing for the members of the selection committee, deeply respecting the commitment of every nominee for taking on this huge challenge. To the selection committee, thank you for your passion. Your job is not an easy one, yet you do it with determination and pride. Rick Schaefer has been a part of the Burlsworth Trophy presentation for many years, and his segments are always the highlight of the show. Throughout the program tonight, we're going to get to know each one of our finalists a little bit better through these live interviews with Rick. So without any further ado, Let's get started with Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett's 5-year journey to stardom at Georgia is a story of incredible perseverance.
His path is like none other that I've ever seen before. Came in, did a tremendous job as a walk-on quarterback, played as a scout team quarterback for a year, did an unbelievable job of servicing the team, just a fine person, and exemplifies everything you want a great walk-on to be.
He spent the next year lighting it up at Mississippi's Jones Junior College. Then it was back to Athens. He played in 5 games in 2019. The next season, he made 5 starts, but did not start or finish the season as the Dogs' #1 quarterback. This season, an injury to starter JT Daniels led to Stetson getting the start in Week 2, and he's never looked back. We're talking about a young man who's earned every snap he's taken at Georgia.
Sometimes I'll watch film with him after practice, but he's there till 11:30 at night. Sometimes it's schoolwork, sometimes it's film on the next opponent. But I think that kind of encompasses the type of guy he is and how much he cares about this program.
Going through the adversity that he went through, keeping 10 toes down and just keeping his head down and working, it's really an inspiration to myself and a lot of players in the facility, because it just shows that, you know, as long as you work, as long as you grind, it pays off.
Stetson has been spectacular this season. He's ranked #1 nationally in yards per completion and second in both passing efficiency and yards per attempt.
Throughout his whole career at Georgia, he's persevered. He's had people tell him, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. And he's always tuned out, say, the haters, people that were never in favor of him. He's always tuned them out, looked the other way, and done his thing. And I'm super proud of him.
He's the real definition of, you know, keeping your head down and working. And, you know, I'm proud of Stetson. I'm proud of everything he's done up to this point. And, you know, I'm 100% rooting for him to win this award.
And winning this award would mean a lot to Georgia head coach Kirby Smart.
I have a special attachment to this award, as I was in Indianapolis in 1999 and got to meet Brandon Burlsworth, and the tragic loss. So saddened for his family, but this award carries his legacy, being the greatest walk-on in the country and overcoming so many obstacles. And there's no finer person in the country to win this award than Stetson Bennett for all he's done and what he's overcome in his career thus far.
Please welcome Burlsworth Award finalist, Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett.
So Stetson, you've had kind of a whirlwind weekend. You played on Saturday, you traveled on Sunday, and here you are on Monday. What's all that been like?
Tiring. We went and visited Arkansas's facilities, which are state-of-the-art, by the way. Coach Pitt, good job. But by the time we got back, I think it was 12:30 Eastern time, 11:30 here, and I just laid down. I don't even know if I pulled the sheets back and just passed out.
Now, they said in the introduction that your nickname was the mailman because you deliver, but that's not exactly how you got that nickname, was it?
No. My buddy Clay Dennison, who was my center in high school my junior year, his dad was the mayor of a small town, Patterson, and he'd have all this, you know, collection of hats. And I saw a mailman hat, and I put it on, and then I went to these camps. I didn't have the mailman hat on, but I would perform well. And then I was like, well, you know what? I got to stand out somehow. You know, I'm this short, you know, quarterback, skinny kid. I think I'm pretty good, but I get lost behind all these cats. And so started putting the mailman hat on, started winning the tournaments. And then, you know, just people started writing articles about this silly little kid with a mailman hat who could throw a football.
And it stuck, hadn't it?
It stuck, yeah. Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, so it's one thing to dream of being the Georgia quarterback when you're 3 or 4 years old. It's another thing to achieve that. You had offers from other schools, even interested, Harvard and Yale were interested in you. Why did you choose to go there as a walk-on?
You know, there's so much that went into that decision, and every decision that I've made since then. But I looked myself in the mirror and I said, I think I can play there. And then I was like, well, you know, and if it doesn't work out, I can transfer somewhere else small and play after that. But I'm going to give myself at least the opportunity to see if I can, because I don't think if I go somewhere small, then, you know, coming back or going somewhere like Georgia it will work out. So let's go see what this journey is going to be like.
So you get there, and there's some pretty good quarterbacks there, aren't there?
Yes, sir. Yep. I get there. Jacob Easton, Jake Fromm. Easton started the year, he went down, and then Frommer came in, led us on an unbelievable year. Lost in the national championship. But yeah, when you get there, you start to see that, the people who told you weren't that good might be telling the truth. You're like, oh, well, I don't know if there's this much room for improvement. But, you keep your head down. You talk with the strength staff, with the quarterback coaches, and try to get better day by day.
So you're the scout team quarterback. Do you find it ironic that you played Baker Mayfield going into that game, and he's a two-time winner of the Burlsworth Award and the Heisman? Yeah. It's a small world. That week was so much fun because all they did was throw it. And we would go, we took pride in, making Kirby mad when we were on the scout team, right? Our GA, who was kind of our head coach of the scout team, William Piegler, who's the running back coach now at Michigan State. They're having a great year. But he'd make a little collection video after each practice, and the first slide would be curb stomps, and each one where Kirby he would throw down his hat or slam his clipboard or tell us to reload the play, it'd be on there, and so we kind of took pride in how many we could get. But even after that, you decided to transfer. What went into that decision? They got Justin Fields, and it didn't go my way in spring ball, and then I was like, well, I didn't come to Georgia to not play football. I came here to see if I could play football. I don't want to just be a regular college kid at the University of Georgia. So I said, they got their guy. I'm going to go to JUCO and chart my own path. I think you were the first candidate we've ever had that left your school and then came back. How did that happen?
Well, I had already decided where I was going to go. I was going to go to Lafayette. Coach Billy Napier, awesome coach. I was going to go play for him. And then I wake up late. I wake up at 9 on signing day because I didn't think anything was going to happen. I was just going to wake up, get the papers faxed to me. I was going to sign them, fax them back, and go about my day. And I wake up and there's 3 missed calls from Coach Smart and 3 from Coach Chaney. And I was like, what's going on? And so I call them back and they tell me, we're going to offer you a scholarship. And so I put 2 and 2. I figured Fields was leaving. And then they say, you need to sign him right away. And I was like, I'm not going to sign him right away. This is a pretty big decision. Do I want to do this? Because once I do this, I'm going to go all in this time. I'm going to, this is what I'm going to do. I'm coming back on scholarship, and I'm going to go be the starting quarterback one day. So I had to wait a few hours and think about it, talk with my family, and so then I end up signing them and coming back.
I hate to bring this up in this room, but you still weren't a starting quarterback until you played Arkansas last year. What was that like at halftime? How was the speech, and what got you motivated in the second half of that game?
Yeah, well, I think thank you, Coach Pitt, for getting that done. But yeah, so I try to prepare whenever I'm not starting or when I am, like I am going to be the starter. And then DeJuan wasn't having his best day, and the coaches decided to make a switch. So I went in there, I felt prepared. Obviously the nerves were just shooting down my leg like lightning because we were losing. And I was like, well, if we don't come back and win, it's going to be my fault, right? Like who put this walk-on in, right? And we lead the 2-minute drive, kick a field goal. It kind of boosts momentum in our way in the halftime, and then we went out and we played a little bit better in the second half. So it was a good first game.
And then if this was going to be a Disney movie, this year has been almost the culmination of that. How has it been being on a team that's been number 1 for so long and now in the college playoff?
Yeah, it's been cool. That's why you go to a place like Georgia, right? You go there, for the high expectations, the chance to win a national championship. You compete every single day to win that, and so I don't want to say this has just been business like usual, but you expect to be where we are, right? And you take it week to week. You don't let all the expectations get to you, and we had a pitfall on Saturday, but we'll take that. We'll watch the film. We're going to get better from it, and we're excited to play Michigan, a great Michigan team, in the Orange Bowl in a few weeks.
As someone that's lived out your dream, what would you tell a 10-year-old if you were talking to him about having dreams like you had?
Well, don't go throw a lot. Go run in the backyard a lot. Don't wish on it, because it won't happen. My dad used to tell me, wish in one hand and spit in the other and see which one fills up faster. And I mean, there's so many hours that people have no idea, whatever profession that you choose, it doesn't just happen. Kids will DM me on Instagram all the time, and I try to reply to them because, I was that kid once, right? I was asking for advice, and, when somebody who's in my position now would respond to me, it meant the world. But I tell them, work, Don't wonder if this work is good enough. Just go do it. Go do it. Go throw, go, run sprints, whatever you need to do, get better, do it. Because if you don't, it won't happen.
Well, here's a guy that's made it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Stetson Bennett.
Hello, I'm David Baker, and it's my great privilege to serve as president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame here in Canton, Ohio. The story of Brandon Burlsworth's journey from a walk-on at Arkansas to the NFL just before his untimely death is now a movie called Greater. The movie premiered right here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's a story and a message of inspiration, which is exactly what we stand for here at the Hall. Commitment, integrity, courage, respect, and excellence. For us, and we believe for you, it is a Hall of Fame movie. I hope you and your family will see Greater soon.
Georgia. Nice. I like that. The 2021 Burlsworth Trophy semifinalist has to be this year one of the best we've ever had. It's unbelievable. This group includes team captains, 4-year starters, all-conference players, and one young man who has started over 50 games in his career. That is amazing. Think about it. These are all former walk-ons that we're having this incredible night for. Let's recognize the 2021 Burlsworth Trophy semifinalists.
Coming out of high school with no Division I offers, he never gave up on his dream of playing college football at the highest level. He's an All-Big 12 performer and a 2-time Burlsworth Trophy semifinalist. From Iowa State University, senior offensive lineman Derek Schweiger. The definition of a servant leader. He has dedicated his time and efforts into perfecting his craft as an offensive lineman. And that commitment and discipline has paid off as this team captain has started well over 50 games. From Liberty University, senior center Thomas Sargent. One of the top wide receivers in college football and a 2-time Burlsworth Trophy semifinalist. He's the perfect embodiment of a hard worker who excels in the classroom and on the field. From the University of Memphis, senior wide receiver Calvin Austin III. He ranks second nationally in tackles per game and leads the Big Ten in solo tackles and total tackles per game. He's a 2-time Burlsworth Trophy semifinalist, a 4-year starter, and a team captain from Northwestern University, senior linebacker Chris Bergen. He has been called a genius academically and a freak show athletically. a William V. Campbell Trophy finalist, and a key starter on the nation's #2 ranked defense, while also serving as the unquestioned team leader. From the University of Wisconsin, senior defensive end, Matt Henningsen. Receiving no Division I or Division II scholarship offers out of high school, he arrived on campus as a preferred walk-on and became a 4-year starter. He emerged as one of the nation's top quarterbacks, landing on the Maxwell, Manning, O'Brien, and Unitas watch lists. From UNC Charlotte, senior quarterback Chris Reynolds. This versatile player, who has split time at both guard and center, has allowed just 1 sack in 229 pass blocking opportunities. A Pac-12 All-Conference first-team selection in 2020, and the top-graded lineman in the conference. From the University of Oregon, senior offensive lineman Ryan Walk.
Others to persevere. Together we've shown our true grit as we find new ways to improve lives and build better futures. A beacon of hope in the face of adversity. That's been our mission for 150 years. Our determination to build a better world continues to drive us forward, now and into the future. We are the University of Arkansas.
We've heard a lot of interesting stories throughout the years of the Burlsworth Trophy. There's certainly been a lot of interesting stories and inspiring stories this year as well. And some things you just could have never possibly known. Georgia head coach Kirby Smart shares one such story.
I'm Kirby Smart with the University of Georgia, and I'd like to open with a brief message for the Burlsworth Foundation. I was very fortunate to be with the Indianapolis Colts after the 1998 year at the University of Georgia. I was signed as an undrafted free agent and got the great fortune of being in mini camp with Brandon Burlsworth. And I don't remember a whole lot, but I can honestly tell you this: he's one of the best, nicest people I've ever been around. He had really impressed me as a rookie, being a second-round draft pick like he was very comfortable to be around, and we all kind of were nervous coming in there, and I had a lot of respect for him.
Well, yeah, last year in college we played. We had a lot of guys in the first quarter that would do that, but it seemed like as the game wore on that the taunting kind of stopped. Because I guess we're starting to dominate them a little bit.
He's going to block somebody and then block another guy when he's finished until the whistle blows. He doesn't know anything except to go keep blocking people.
I think it's a tremendous honor to have his name on this award that means so much to so many walk-ons across the country who went on to earn scholarships. So thank you so much for what y'all do.
Well, as many of you know, Grant Morgan was named a Burlsworth Trophy finalist last year as well. We had a great program with all 3 finalists, but due to COVID, the presentation was held virtually. So it's great to be back and in person as KATV's Steve Sullivan highlights Grant Morgan.
6 years ago, Grant Morgan came to Arkansas as a walk-on. Fellow linebacker Hayden Henry has had a front row seat to his rise to greatness.
He came here as a walk-on, but he knew mentally that he was better than what other people were saying he was, right? Everyone was putting a label on him, and he knew that he was the only one that could label himself. He knew what he was worth. And, over 4 or 5 years, he went from a walk-on to an All-American.
Grant saw his first action as a redshirt freshman, but didn't become a full-time starter until last season, Sam Pittman's first season. Coach was surprised that his first-team linebacker was a walk-on.
Certainly was a surprise, but it also shows you that we don't always know what we're going to get because we can't measure the heart, and he has a huge one.
Bumper Poole has started alongside Grant for the past 2 seasons.
He comes in every single day. He'll write down goals for each and every day, and he just goes and he sets the goal, and then he goes and accomplishes it.
Grant's contribution to this team goes way beyond his stats. Listen to Coach Pittman talk about Grant Morgan, the leader.
Everybody looks up to him. Everybody looks to him when times are good and when times are tough. And he always comes through. I mean, just a wonderful, wonderful guy.
He does such a great job about making sure that everyone on the team feels they have a role. He challenges people every single day, and he's very caring. I mean, he goes off and does above and beyond what a teammate should do. He makes sure that everyone's taken care of, reaches out to a teammate that's in need. Just an ultimate, a great person.
The thing that comes to my mind is how genuine of a man that he is and how much he cares about others and how much he cares about the University of Arkansas.
All conference and All-American honors as a junior, Grant has had another incredible season, one that his teammates and coach hope includes winning the Burlsworth Trophy.
Grant Morgan is the definition of this award. He came in as a walk-on, proved every single person wrong, and continues to do so every single day he's on the field.
Being that the trophy's named after a guy that was once a Razorback, it would mean the world to us. And this state's a very proud state and very blue collar, and I think that's Grant Morgan as well.
It's personal to him. Brandon Burlsworth's story here is strong and should be in the state of Arkansas. I think it'd mean everything to our state, and I think it'd mean everything to Grant and his family, and it'd mean a lot to me too.
Please welcome Burlsworth Award finalist Grant Morgan of the University of Arkansas.
I think you've got home field advantage.
Yeah, thank y'all for all coming out too. Go Hogs.
So Grant, you also grew up in the state of Arkansas. Did you always want to be a Razorback?
Yeah, I honestly, I can say, seeing my brother go there and play there, I really didn't think I could ever see myself playing anywhere else. We moved here and went to Greenwood, and all we knew and all we saw around us was University of Arkansas. And to be able to say now that I'm living out a dream that I knew I didn't want to play anywhere else, and this is what I'm doing, and I can just say I'm in it in the greatest way I can.
Did you know before you came to campus anything about Brandon Burlsworth?
I actually didn't. I didn't know about it, and then my redshirt year, we went, and you could see his name all over our, when we go into our meeting room, go in our hallways, we see his name. And the thing about it is you see his name as the NFL side, and then you see him as the walk-on side, and the walk-on side so much bigger. And I just think that just shows right there of how much Brandon Burlsworth means to Arkansas. And when we heard his story and we all went and saw the movie as a team, I think it just showed that he means so much more to Arkansas than people imagine.
This award started in 2010, and you were the first candidate ever from the University of Arkansas. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It means a lot to be able to say, like, I'm setting a stone that for University of Arkansas and setting a standard that any walk-on can do it. It doesn't matter where you're from, but to be able to say I'm from the University of Arkansas doing it and kind of knowing I can be in the same kind of path that Brandon Burlsworth was, and he set a foundation for us all, and to be able to say I'm playing in the same place he did and doing it on the same field, it really does mean a lot to me.
Now, you have a unique opportunity. There aren't many sixth-year seniors out there. Why did you decide to come back for a sixth year?
Honestly, I have no clue. I have no clue. No, I'll tell you right now why. It's the guy sitting right over there. Coach Pittman, if I didn't have any other head coach, if it's Coach Pittman, I was coming back. And so the way it kind of went down is I saw exactly what type of team we had and saw what type of guys we had and what coaching staff we had. If it was any other circumstance, I wouldn't have came back. But I knew what we could do, and I knew that we went out this year and did it. Someone asked me earlier, do you think a year ago would you have said, oh, you guys are going to be able to play in the Outback? And I said, heck yeah. Like, we're going to play in there, and we're going to win, and we're going to do it. And just like we did this year, we're going to win. And we did it at a high class all year. And so, because that's University of Arkansas. We want to be the best program in the nation. We're not satisfied with being able to say last year we could have done this. When we came back and when I decided to say, hey, we're going to play football, we're going to play it at a high level, and that's what we've done this year. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm glad I came back. That's the best decision I ever made other than marrying my wife. So I'm glad I came back.
Okay, so you played on a couple teams that didn't win a conference game. And then last year you won 3. What did you see to think that you could be as successful as you are this year?
What I saw was genuineness throughout the program. everyone wanted to be there, and it wasn't a fake. It wasn't a fake little character value that people thought they had. We have guys on this football team that love football. We have guys on this football team who love Arkansas, and we have coaches that love Arkansas and want to be there more than anybody else. We don't want someone to say this is a stepping stone program. We want someone to say this is the best program in the nation, because that's what it can be. So that's what I saw. That's what I embodied. That's what I felt like we needed. We're University of Arkansas, and I know there's a lot of other named logos, but I think this is the best logo you can have in the nation.
There's the home field advantage again. Okay, you said the best decision you made was to marry your wife. It's unusual to play 2 years of college football while you're married, and you're getting an undergraduate and a graduate degree. How have you managed that?
A lot of help. A lot of people in my corner helping me out. She's probably helped me with my degrees, telling me I need to do more than what I do. So I have both my master's and my undergrad, and she's making me now, still today, I'm taking random classes that I don't have to get to play football, and she's making me do that like it's my master's, like I'm going to sign a doctorate right now. I've managed it with a lot of help. It's a lot of hard work. It really is. Just to be able to say that I've been able to do something like Brandon. Brandon played in games with his master's in his pocket, and it definitely, it made me want to work for it. It made me see that he could do that and be able to be successful on and off the field and not put limits on himself. So that's exactly what I did. I said, why can't you go try to be a doctor? Why can't you go try to play in the NFL? Obviously, somebody here like Brandon has done that, and he's done it at the University of Arkansas. Don't put limits on yourself like Brandon did. He didn't put limits on himself. He went out there and he didn't like when other people told him what to do. I don't like when people don't say I can't do something. That's not something that's in us. That's not something in the two guys sitting next to me. They don't like if people tell them they can't do something. They just want to go prove them wrong. So that's what as walk-ons we embody, and that's exactly how I've kind of went about it.
Your degrees, to an average person, you'd think they don't line up. Kinesiology and operations. How are you putting those together for a career after football?
So I got my undergrad in pre-med kinesiology and wanted to go to med school, wanted to be a doctor. I got it in 3 years, so I knew I'd have a chance to get a master's. With that, I wanted to be able to either own my own private practice, so I needed to kind of have a business background or something to do with operations. So I thought maybe I could do operations management. So my end goal in life, no matter what, if I play 20 years in the NFL or one, my end goal in life is to start and own my own research hospital. I want to be able to do that no matter what my path of life is. I want to be able to help my hand in some type of way to be able to start my own research hospital and to be able to kind of step out of the normal realm that I've been able to do. So I'm excited for that. I think that is a goal. It's long right now, far away right now, but it's definitely something I'll be working for the rest of my life for.
And when did you get this urge to go into the medical field?
I've always thought maybe I need to be able to step up and do the best thing that I can to help others. My dad is in the medical field right now, and so for me, I've always kind of been around it. I have a lot of family members, but I've always just wanted to try to be the best in anything that I did and wanted to be able to say I can do multiple things and be the best at them. So that was just one of the reasons I thought I could do it, and don't anybody in here tell me I can't, because I can't wait to prove you wrong.
Very good. Okay, so if there was a high school senior sitting out there and he's weighing his college choices and he's got some smaller school offers or the school of his dreams, what would you tell him?
I'd say follow your heart. Don't listen to anybody else. It's your decision. It's a very hard decision. There's many people that have been in your shoes, and no matter what you choose, if it's to go to this school or to not play at all, if you do it with all your heart, no matter what happens in the time being, you're going to be successful. If you give in and you say, maybe this isn't for me halfway through, if you decide to go another route, give it your all, you're going to be successful. And you're seeing 3 examples of it tonight, all 3 of us being successful. They've all given it our all. We've all given it our all. No matter what you do, if you give it your all and try to be the best at exactly what you're trying to do, you'll be successful.
That's what Grant Morgan's done. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Morgan, University of Arkansas.
83%. Did you know that 83% of all learning in school is visual? Now imagine you're an 11-year-old child sitting in a classroom, unable to see the board, and your family can't afford glasses. Want to help? Now you can. This is Chuck Berry, and thanks to the Brandon Burlsworth Foundation's Eyes of a Champion program, children from all over Arkansas are being given the gift of sight. Log on to BrandonBurlsworth.org to see how you can help make a child's life brighter.
That's familiar. I've heard that somewhere. By the way, Grant, I have to say that you saying you returning for your 6th year was the best decision of your life, except for marrying your wife. That's doctorate level. That's not master's. That's doctorate level is what that is. Perfect. It's time to highlight, by the way, the Burlsworth Trophy winners from previous years. It is an unbelievable roster of great players, just like our 3 finalists here tonight. They're an impressive group, and while we're at it, let's take a look back at just how all of this actually began.
Brandon Burlsworth began his college career as a walk-on. Before he played his last game, he was a 2-time All-Conference player, a first-team All-American, and had completed his master's degree. In 2008, discussions began about creating a new college football award to recognize players who began their career on that same path as a walk-on. When Marty Burlsworth and Brian Reindl set out to create the award, they wanted something personal and unique. It had to be special. Utah artist and sculptor Raymond Gibby was selected for the job, and the utmost care and research was put into making sure every detail was correct.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. The Brandon Burlsworth Trophy.
The Burlsworth Trophy has been called one of the top art pieces in all of college football. It's for those that believe in themselves, put in the work, and never give up. An aerospace engineering major, named one of the smartest athletes in sports, and included in Bleacher Report's 25 greatest walk-ons of the BCS era. The winner of the inaugural Burlsworth Trophy in 2010 was Georgia Tech center Sean Bedford. At the University of Southern Mississippi, he broke all of Brett Favre's passing records. In his senior season alone, he threw for 3,496 yards and 30 touchdowns. 2011 Burlsworth Trophy winner, Southern Miss quarterback Austin Davis. He completed his senior season leading the Big Ten with a school record 270 completions for 3,271 yards and 24 touchdowns. A competitor to the core, he played the game with grit and determination. 2012 Burlsworth Trophy winner, Penn State quarterback Matt McGloin. He holds the school record for most career receptions, and after a stellar college career, he was drafted by his own in-state NFL team, the Green Bay Packers. 2013 Burlsworth Trophy winner, Wisconsin wide receiver Jared Abbrederis. During his senior season, he broke the FBS record for career receptions and finished his collegiate career with 387 receptions for 4,541 yards and 35 touchdowns. East Carolina wide receiver and 2014 Burlsworth Trophy winner, Justin Hardy. Finishing his college career with a record of 33-6 as a starter, this former walk-on went on to win the Heisman Trophy and was the first overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. The only 2-time winner of the Burlsworth Trophy, winning in 2015 and 2016, Oklahoma's Baker Mayfield. A three-time All-Pac-12 conference selection, he holds the conference record for career passing yards, throwing for 14,486 yards and 119 touchdowns. Washington State quarterback and 2017 Burlsworth Trophy winner, Luke Falk. Known for catching the winning touchdown pass in the closing seconds of the 2016 National Championship game. And in Las Vegas, third down is now known as Third and Renfro. 2018 Burlsworth Trophy winner, Clemson wide receiver, Hunter Renfro. A two-time All-Big Ten selection and a two-time All-American. He holds the school record for tackles for loss and was named Team MVP 2 years running. 2019 Burlsworth Trophy winner, Michigan State defensive end, Kenny Willekes. A four-year starter who earned All-ACC honors 3 consecutive years. Named to the All-ACC academic team for 4 consecutive years, this two-time team captain was the anchor of the offensive line. 2020 Burlsworth Trophy winner, Pittsburgh center, Jimmy Morrissey. Now that is an impressive group of outstanding young men. The only question is, who's next?
Some great players. Just a few days ago, Carlton, Grant, and Stetson had the opportunity to meet some of the guys we just saw on that video. And I'll tell you how it all actually happened. Last year, as we mentioned, the traditional Burlsworth Trophy presentation was not possible because of COVID. So Marty implemented a Zoom reception smartly. It was such a big hit, they decided to continue doing that from now on anyway. It's always great to hear former walk-ons talk about what their journey was like to get here and how it all helped them become the men they are today. Now, Marty's wife, Vicky, also hosts a yearly Zoom call with the mothers and wives of former finalists to welcome them to the new group and to the ladies in the Burlsworth family. It really is one big family. Carlton Marshall, I can't wait to talk about this. This video is so awesome. He's had quite the college career. This guy is a tackling machine. I mean, the numbers you're about to hear and see are unbelievable. I don't know how he did it, but we are excited to get the scoop from the man himself as we delve into the incredible career of Carlton Marshall.
It didn't take his Troy teammates long to realize that they had a special player in Carlton Marshall.
He was redshirted his freshman year, played on scout team, played against us, and as a walk-on freshman, nobody knew he made every single play against our first team offense. We knew from just 2 weeks in of that year that this guy was going to be special.
A linebacker with an incredible motor and an unequaled desire to make the play.
You ever seen like a dog like on a chain and like they just want to get out so bad they start getting like white stuff foaming out their mouth? That's Carlton Marshall. Like he's relentless. He just got that. He has that passion for the game that you wish you can have for yourself. But it's just beyond anything you can really comprehend.
Carlton has been a tackling machine. This season, he averaged over 10 tackles a game, and since the start of the 2019 season, no player in the country has had more tackles than this Troy Trojan.
He is the best football player I've ever had the luxury to play with. He really plays for the love of the game. He really loves the game.
I tell him all the time, like, he is the best football player I have ever seen with my own two eyes I have ever played with, hands down. Just the plays he can make and the knowledge he has for the game is just crazy.
Carlton Marshall is the type of player who makes those around him better.
Just watching him practice and the way he gives everything he does, man, it just makes me reconsider how I change, like I go about things, honestly.
Consistent as a word, I think, describes Carlton to a T. He's there every day. He's working his tail off day in and day out. There's not much else to be said about Carlton, but he's a special guy.
His impact stretches beyond the football field.
Off the field, he's really a big brother to everybody. If anybody has a problem or whatever, you go to Marshall, and and he'll figure out any type of way to help you. He'll bend over backwards to help you.
He's just a great dude, great person to be around. Very inspirational. I mean, that's the people you want in your circle, and I'm glad to have somebody like him.
There'll be a lot of disappointed Troy Trojans if Carlton does not win the Burlsworth Award.
Check the stats yourself. He's been the best linebacker in the country, honestly, for the last 3 years. So he should have been won the award, and I really do believe that he deserves this award.
His name's gonna be here forever. Simple. His name will be remembered at Troy University forever. If it's not on the banner before I leave, I'm be very, very upset.
Please welcome Burlsworth Award finalist, Troy linebacker, Carlton Marshall.
Now, Carlton, as I listen to those people talk about you, Ted Williams used to say all he wanted to be was the greatest hitter that ever lived. Did you just want to be the greatest football player that ever lived? That's what they're all calling you.
Growing up, I saw it as, I saw these players doing it in the NFL. I was like, why couldn't it be me? So I felt that football was the right choice for me, and I just kept going with that dream.
You're another player that didn't leave the state. You went from Mobile to Troy. What went into that decision?
Of course, I had not many D1 offers, so I didn't have any D1 offers. So I looked at it as maybe Troy is the right place for me. My brother went to North Alabama. I wanted to make my own legacy and make my own path. So I felt that, Troy, walking on to Troy, that was just the right decision for me.
Did coaches encourage you to walk on, or did you just say, here I am?
Oh, actually, Coach John Summerall, he was one of the coaches that recruited me. And the night before, I had a tough talk with my parents. They still have the video to this day. I have two hats in front of me, North Alabama and Troy. My mom was like, yeah, go for Troy, do that. My father was like, make the best decision for you. We're here just to support you 100%. So I felt like Troy was the right place for me.
Now, wait a minute. The 5 stars, they have these helmets and they have this big crowd watching. It was just your parents and you had 2 hats? Is that how you did that?
Oh, yes, sir. Actually, the night before signing day, yeah, we had to make a little fun out of it. Going out there, warming up, I would say, for tomorrow, the day after. But making that decision with them is one decision I'll never forget and always just remember.
Another thing I've read your teammates say is that you love Troy University. How did you build that deep affection for the school?
Well, when I first got there, of course, being a walk-on, you're not really, I wouldn't say a part of the team, but you're definitely a part of the team. You don't get the extra, I would say, guys making the extra step, to get to know you and everything. So you have to be, more outgoing, getting to know everybody. And that family feel that I got from after that year there, I feel that was what I wanted. That's one of the reasons I chose Troy.
There were some other guys there that had been walk-ons that helped you through your freshman year.
Oh, yes, sir, most definitely. Hunter Reese, I'm sure me and him talk every other weekend. So, it's good talking to him. Blaze Brown, he's playing in the Canadian League. And those guys, they really were in my head, in the back of my head. They told me, it's going to be a tough time being a walk-on, but never quit. And, those guys really pushed me to be better as a football player and as a person.
I'll bet you've encouraged a few walk-ons at Troy yourself, haven't you?
Yes, sir, most definitely. Coming in, I had close friends, a close friend of mine to this day, Craig Slocum. He's also a walk-on. He was just awarded a scholarship. And not too long ago, so, we talk about how that feels. And he said, anytime you want to talk about anything, you can always come to me. I was always there for him when he was there for me as well. So, it was just nice having that person there for me.
What were the circumstances and what was it like when they told you that you'd be on full scholarship?
The circumstances, sorry. It was we came to practice, the meeting before practice in the weight room. We would always gather up as a team, have that team meeting before practice. And Coach Brown, he put a tweet up on the screen, said, everything I'm not made me everything I am. And, you know, I just lived by that. And when everybody looked back down and looked up, they saw the announcement on the screen, and it was one big blur. They just dogpiled on me. So, yeah, it was a nice experience. You know, I'll never forget it.
Now, that was your tweet. You didn't say that. Where did you come up with that?
I actually heard that in a song earlier that week, and I just felt like, you know, it really stuck with me. Everything I'm not, maybe everything I am, and I really believe that every single walk-on, you know, that's ever played on a college football field, especially Brandon Burlsworth. So that quote has stuck with me this whole time throughout college.
Okay, so here you came as a walk-on. Now you're on scholarship. What does it mean to you to hear it said you've made more tackles than anybody else in college football the last 4 years?
You know, all the individual awards, all the tackles, all the recognition, you know, that's nice, but that family feel, just being out there playing for a bigger purpose than yourself, a bigger reason, you know, that team, that defense, my coaches, just being out there with those guys, you know, that's what I love to do, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Now, he's a broadcast major, so he's auditioning right now for a post-career. But listening to those guys, you should have been a psychology major. Are you solving every problem on the team? Do they bring them all to you?
Nah. A lot of them see me as their big brother, but, you know, how much they say I help them, you know, they help me just as much. You know, I feel like treating your team as a family, I mean, you're around them 90% of the day, you know, with practices, meetings. So they become your family over time, and that's what every guy on my team has become, family.
Why'd you choose broadcasting, and what would you like to do with that eventually?
Oh, I chose broadcasting because, you know, actually I was at first a political science major, and that was the hardest B I ever got in my life. And I was like, maybe this is not for me. So my advisor, she recommended broadcast journalism, so I looked into it, getting to know the ins and outs of it, you know, behind the scenes, in front of the camera. You know, it's just something I just fell in love with over time, and yes, sir, never looked back.
Okay, so have you done some on-the-camera work in a class or anything? Have you interviewed people?
Oh, yes, I actually haven't interviewed people. The most I've done, you know, I've done this thing we have in the school called Trojan Vision News. Yeah, I was kind of the weatherman, and I've done, yes, I was the weatherman. I've done some sports segments, so I would say I got my feet wet a little bit. Yes, sir.
Okay, so coach me a little bit. What should I have asked these two guys that I didn't?
Ooh, I mean, you did it perfect. I'm trying to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, ESPN, what would it be, like 2040, something like that? That's when we can expect to see you?
Hopefully. Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, that's Carlton Marshall. He's a great interview. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.
That's the message that everybody in the Colts organization took, that, hey, we got to have the same attitude Brandon had. Live every day to the fullest, work as hard as you can, treat people the right way, because you don't know if you're going to see them again. Young people can look at that and learn about hard work and perseverance, and the fact that you're going to be remembered for who you are much more than what you do. Brandon didn't play a long time, didn't have a 10-year Pro Bowl career, but he's remembered in Indianapolis for the type of person that he was and what he brought to that organization.
From the grassy fields where we play to the undiscovered depths, from labs, classrooms, and boardrooms, to waterways, forests, and farms around the world, from a safer future in cyberspace to orbiting our planet in outer space, you can feel the Bulldog Nation's impact everywhere you go. It all starts here at the University of Georgia. But where it goes, the possibilities are endless.
By the way, had a round of applause for Rick Schaefer in doing these interviews. Makes it look easy. I'm telling you, it's not that easy. I know you're going to kill it in broadcast journalism, and Rick makes that look easy, I'm telling you. Well, Sean Bedford won the very first Burlsworth Trophy in 2010. He's just a tremendous person, the big heart. You could not ask for a better ambassador for this award. So here's a quick video from Sean Bedford.
I wish I could be there in person with y'all today, but I hope you're all healthy, happy, and excited to celebrate these three incredible finalists. Carlton, Grant, and Stetson, I hope you and your friends and family are thrilled to be here to receive the recognition you deserve for your remarkable accomplishments. You are all special players and special young men, and the Burlsworth Trophy is a special trophy because every nominee has, to some degree, a shared experience. For most awards, the commonalities end at a position group or even just one side of the ball. And sure, every college football player goes through camp, their first game, and those first play jitters. But the community of walk-on shares a couple of additional experiences that make it truly special. The first is rejection, that moment where you're told either directly or implicitly that you're just not good enough to warrant a scholarship. And the second is perseverance, the rejection of that rejection. The Burlsworth Trophy Brotherhood, our winners and finalists, semifinalists, and nominees, shares a third common experience, triumph in the face of that rejection. And because of that triumph, you represent the very best of college football. Few people can relate to a five-star high schooler with 4.4 speed, a 40-inch vertical, and offers from every college in America. But your stories resonate with every fan who encounters them, because at some level, everyone sees themselves as a walk-on, as a diamond in the rough, a long shot who didn't get the chance they deserved. But unlike most people, you did it anyway. You refused to settle for anything less than your dream, and greeted adversity as an opportunity, not an obstacle. And what's particularly sensational about each of you is that you didn't luck into any of this. You didn't wait your turn or sneak into the too deep when someone got hurt. You made your presence known and your impact undeniable. We have two of the nation's top three tacklers from last season and the starting quarterback of the #1 team of the nation. That doesn't happen by accident or by luck. So I congratulate each of you on your amazing college football career. For years to come, walk-ons at your respective schools will chase their dreams, hoping to be the next Stetson Bennett, Carlton Marshall, or Grant Morgan. That's quite a legacy. Now, by being here, each of our finalists is also inheriting part of the legacy of Brandon Burlsworth. If you spend any time in Northwest Arkansas, it's impossible to miss how much he means to this community and what a lasting impact he left on so many people. He was not just a great player who overcame the odds. He was a leader by example to his teammates, a groundbreaking student, a faithful servant of God, and an inspiration to an entire state. Brandon held himself to a standard that many would call impossible because he believed in doing things the right way, which is very rarely the easy way, all the time. Sadly, the world only got to see Brandon's brilliant light shine for 22 short years. But you, finalists, now get to carry that torch for Brandon on and off the field. So go forth and make the world a better place by doing things the way you've already been doing them. The hard way, the right way, the Burls way. So Grant, Stetson, Carlton, on behalf of walk-ons everywhere, congratulations on your achievements and good luck. Your stories are proof enough that there's nothing you can't do, and we can't wait to see what you do next. God bless.
Well, the Burlsworth Trophy received a record number of nominations this year. 89 players from schools all across the country, all the conferences, were nominated for the 2021 Burlsworth Trophy. And now from those 89, the committee selected 10 semifinalists. We saw the video a few minutes ago about that. And now we have our 3 finalists from the 89 to the final 3. That's an amazing accomplishment. And one more time, a round of applause for all of our finalists tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've gotten to the moment of truth we've all been waiting for, so I will invite Marty Burlsworth back to the stage to do the honors. Marty, come on up.
All righty, okay. Oh, it's a big moment, big moment. Now, First, I want to tell you that I have been able to spend some time with all of our finalists over the last few days. And I can tell you that they are, if you don't know it already, they are competitors, extreme competitors. We had a little outing at Top Golf today. What were y'all doing back out there? You went back outside, it was cold, and the wind was blowing, and I think they were trying to out long drive one another. So anyway, it never shuts off. And that's a great thing. And that, that competitive nature, that's expected, because without that, it would be impossible to succeed at the highest level of college football like Carlton, Grant, and Stetson have done. All our finalists will always be part of the Burlsworth Trophy family, and they know that. It's a special group. It's a team. It's a bond, and they will always have that. Well, I have an envelope here, and there's a name in this envelope, but regardless of the name in this envelope, these are all three winners. The winner of the 2021 Burlsworth Trophy from the University of Arkansas, Grant Morgan.
Wow. Wow, it was a long year. From being last year to being a finalist and thinking I was literally a walk-on again. Someone doubted me, the selection doubted me. That's how I took it upon myself. Wow, to be a winner, this means so much to me. To be able to sit up here in front of y'all. These two guys deserve this award. We all deserve this award. We're, like he said earlier, we're winners. Y'all are two damn good athletes. We're showing it every single day. So I appreciate both of y'all. Be able to stand up here with y'all. Now let me get to my actual award, my acceptance speech, I guess. Marty and Vicky, thank you guys. This is wonderful. This is the best thing I've ever been through. Evelyn and everyone else behind the scenes. I'd say this is better than the Heisman. I don't care what they say. This is pretty cool here. I just want to thank my family. I want to thank all of y'all, even for being here. Sydney, thank you for sticking with me every single day. My coaches, every single one that's been with me. My teammates who you saw up there who'd probably run through a brick wall for me. I got y'all's back too, I promise. I'm running through anything for y'all. My best friends back home, everyone who's been with me, because this didn't start. My chip on my shoulder didn't start just in college. It's been with me my whole life. I just want to thank y'all. Most importantly, I want to thank Brandon. Brandon Burlsworth is a special man, and I think everyone here, we started with the trailer, and I think we could have called that a wrap on the show right away, just because his life alone is just amazing, just to see what he did in just at a short time and how he impacted so many lives in such a 22-year life. Obviously, a really good man cut short, and just to be able to say that I'm now playing on the same field as him, and to be able to represent Arkansas the same way he did, and I hope I make people feel the same way he did. Because that's my goal in life, is to make people feel like Brandon Burlsworth, made people feel. He's encouraged me so much. I think my message to other walk-ons, because every single day I see Brandon Burlsworth's name as a walk-on, and it means so much. But I talked to Marty and Miss Vicky earlier this week, or it was just all of us actually when I stated it. Walk-on is not a negative meaning. Walk-on is not a negative saying at all. To me, it's something special. I think it's a badge of honor for me. to be able to say I was a walk-on. I should stand out in a good way. Walk-ons nowadays should stand out in a good way, not a negative way, because they're doing it for free. They're doing it. They're saying, listen, I don't get a scholarship. They're doing it. They're giving their all. They want to be there more than the guys, because they are saying, I'll give up everything I got to be able to be on a team and to be able to give my all. So I just think being a walk-on is not a negative thing. It's they want to be there. And I just know that Brandon, he'd be proud of all three of us, just because of the way he lived his life and what we've seen, especially at Arkansas. And I think Ms. Vicky and Marty would attest to that. It was a great honor. Like I've said, I literally just said to both of y'all, it's a great honor to be able to stand up here and to be able to say I've been with y'all for this past 2 days. I know it's short. I'm going to keep up with both of y'all. Best of luck, obviously, this week, this next week, or the 2 weeks from now. I want you to win it all. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. But this is just a huge honor. I just want to thank every single one of y'all in here. You guys made this one of the best nights of my life. I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. God bless, and go Hogs.
We're going to stay up here. You're going to stay up here with me. Real quick, it's been an amazing and inspiring evening with our finalists. Congratulations also to you guys. What we've witnessed here tonight, we can truly attest to the fact that we're all winners. You guys did a great, great job, had a great, great season. Quick announcement, by the way, for the media that we have here at the close of the program. Feel free to come on up, not just to the front, but also you can come up on stage to interview any of the guys, any of the finalists. You're welcome to come up on stage. Thank you so much, everybody here, for being here tonight. It was a special night. There you go. Here at Crystal Bridges. Thank you guys again. And we will see you next year for the 2022 Brandon Burlsworth Trophy. Thank you guys so much.